Hey y'all, morning. Well, morning for me. I just wanted to jump on here really quickly and let y'all know that I made a huge mistake. That could be very costly if someone ate the food from any of these 5 jars. Y'all know the week before Christmas, I cooked up a whole batch of that pork and cabbage skillet that my family loves. It's delicious. And I wanted to can it, so I looked around. There was a website where they had success canning it and all that, and I read how they canned it and stuff like that. So I pressure canned it up and I filmed it. Last week or the week before, I put the video on YouTube. Y'all let me know down in the comments all the mistakes that I made, which is what I want y'all to do. I want you to help me learn what I'm doing wrong in something. Sometimes I forget things. Sometimes I don't know things. Sometimes I get distracted and skip steps by accident. So I want y'all to let me know what I'm doing wrong so I can try to pay attention to that next time. Now granted, I will let y'all know sometimes I do forget to debubble, but for the most part I've gotten really good about making sure that I debubble. But I still forget sometimes. But I don't think that debubbling is a life or death thing. Like processing temperatures and times are. Sometimes I have issues with siphoning. I think it's because I usually move my pressure canner off the heat source, because this stays hot for a really good while after I turn off the burner. So I remove it off the heat source so it can start depressurizing. And I think that's okay too if I have some siphoning, as long as my temperatures and times are good and it seals. But like I said, y'all let me know things I do wrong, and I thank you for that. Keep doing that, please. Don't be turds about it, but keep telling me my mistakes so I can pay attention next time. But one of the main things that y'all let me know is I was 15 minutes shy in my processing time. There's meat in these jars. It's quart-sized jars. I should have pressure canned them for 90 minutes, but I only did 75. And I'll admit to y'all, at first I was like, well, they all sealed, so 15 minutes, it'll be all right. But this past week, and I can't explain it, but it weighed heavy on me. I was like, well, will it be all right? And I kept thinking about it, you know, trying to decipher why it might not be all right. I mean, they all sealed, right? Well, anyway, yesterday while we were at the library, we go every Tuesday. Declan loves it. We go for story time. He's made friends with the other weekly regulars for story time, the little ones. But yesterday we had family with us, so they were able to keep Declan preoccupied in the children's department, and I was able to kind of sneak out to the main library area, and I looked at some of their canning books. And y'all, I'm not an Einstein or anything, but I'm also not dumb, and I know that. I am what I consider average intelligence. There's some words and some explanations I might not fully understand at first, but I can look at something and for the most part get the gist of what they're trying to say. So when I was looking at all these canning books yesterday, it helped me understand why that extra 15 minutes for quart-sized jars is so important. It's important to seal, yes, but what's really important is that the food in the center of your jars reaches a required temperature for a required amount of time in order to kill off any of the bacteria that could be harmful or fatal. And being that I was 15 minutes shy in my processing, I don't believe that the center food in my jars reached that required temperature for the required amount of time. So what we're going to do today, as sucky as it is, I spent time cooking it, I spent time canning it, we're going to pop these open and we're going to dump them out, because my family is more important than the food in these 5 jars. Myself, my son, my husband, I don't want any of us to get sick or even die if we were to eat this. And who's to say that I wouldn't have gifted one of these jars to somebody, talking about this recipe and this dish that we love so much. Here, I have a jar of it, try it. People are more important than the food in this jar. So we're going to dump it out. And I just wanted to let y'all know that this is a lesson learned for me. Usually when I learn lessons, it's the hard way. There's time wasted, there's efforts wasted, but at least I learned the lesson. And maybe this is a mistake of mine that y'all can learn from. I know there are tons of newbie canners out there just like me. I am a newbie canner. I'm new to a lot of this homestead stuff. But I think it's important skills to learn. It's important knowledge to have. I'm not a teacher in any way when it comes to this stuff. Most of the time in any area of my life, anything I'm doing, for the most part, I'm just winging it. But I film it and I put it up on YouTube to get help from other people who are more knowledgeable. I want y'all to let me know in the comments what I'm doing wrong. Even if it's debubbling. But believe me, for the most part, as I'm editing, I'll realize, oh, I forgot to debubble that. But I have issues with debubbling. I have issues with siphoning because I moved my canner. This burner stays hot for a while, so it takes a long time to depressurize if I leave it here. I've tried, so I just find it easier and quicker to move it. Siphoning, I don't think that's a life or death thing. Correct me if I'm wrong. Debubbling, I don't think it's a life or death thing. Correct me if I'm wrong. But processing times and temperatures, I now have learned can be a life or death thing. There could be some very bad bacteria inside these jars because I improperly processed them. So, I pretty much document what I do in hopes of y'all helping me learn better. So, yeah. Let's get to dumping out what could be some very bad food. Alright, so come on now. I'm smelling a lot of tomato and cabbage. But nothing smells sour, but I'm still not about to risk it. You know what, I'll pop all these open and then I'll use my knife to help me scrape it all out. Alright, so I'm going to wash all these, and I can no longer water bath can or pressure can with these or anything, but I can wash them and use them for dry goods and things like that. Now granted, I will put the jars and these lids in here to sterilize them, so I'm guessing that would be okay. But I save the lids, that way I can use them. If I had a lot of herbs or dry goods or something, then I can still use these, but I can no longer can with these. So, my family is more important than those lids or the food in those jars. But, so I just wanted to share that with y'all. I still have a lot to learn, and I hope that y'all help me learn. I hope that y'all help me do it. So I'm going to go ahead and say goodbye and pray y'all are having a great day and success canning, and watch what you're doing. I'll need to pay more attention to what I'm doing, make sure I know. And we'll see y'all in the next one.